Welcome to the Coreprint Web2Print introduction. In this presentation, I'm going to give you a basic introduction and overview to the Coreprint Web2Print system from the client front end. What you can see on your screen at the moment is a login page. The system doesn't have to have a login page. It supports SSO, single sign-on from a client's internal network. It also supports ERP CRM integration from any proprietary system. This is any purchasing system such as Oracle, Ariba, SAP, Coupa, and so forth. However, what I'm going to do in this presentation is just to log into the system and place an order for several items, and just to show you the basic functionality. Everything I show today, quite happy to give you a bit of more of an introduction. If you just let me know, and I can take you and show you some more details. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to a login page. The login page can be any URL. You can see there it's HTTPS, so it is secure. We can actually mask the URL as well, so it could be any address, and the login page can look like anything, as per the example on screen that you can see now, which I'll have a look at in a second. So I'm going to log in as my user, which is an admin user of the system. And the username and password will denote the level that I actually go into the system as. As the page is loaded, you'll notice it's quite clean. The standard structure of the Coreprint Web2Print system remains the same. We do have a full API, application programming interface, should you require to make it look like anything you wish. However, it is a robust methodology to have a standard structure that you can support and you can edit in a number of different ways. What I'm going to do here is just quickly go over some of the admin functionality that come within the system. So from the top graphic here, I have the ability to edit. I can amend the image that's in the top graphic and amend the size and proportion, including the logo at the top left just above that. Within the bar here, I have a whole range of functionality based around the text. So we can have different layers of text with different colors. I can justify the text. I can even have things like pictures and videos included within the top graphic, should they be required. If I just cancel that and exit out of that editing function, if I go to the top right to my account, I can see there's an option there for personal settings, switch user and themes. If I just go down to themes, you'll see as the administrator, I also have the ability to amend the design functionality of the system. For example, by way of this basic introduction, if I look at the basic button styles, I can come down here, I can see a preview of a button. I can amend the color of the text and the border and the width of the border based upon a color scale or based upon a reference, or I can drag this slider across to make the button more rounded. And I can drag it back to make it more square. And this affects all the buttons in the actual system. So, changes to the actual Coreprint Web2Print system can be made by the administrator on the fly rather than by a programmer having to be booked in and so forth. Just going to go back to the home page now. Then give you some functionality overview of the actual site. So we have some details up at the top right, which I've just shown you, the ability to log out. We have a shopping basket or cart there, and you can see I have a number of items by the icon there, 5 items in my basket already. If I come down to the bottom left, you'll see I've got a duplicate of that, but in a larger format, where I can see I have 5 items. I have this side window that can expand and close. I have the search box where I can search for any product on the system, and I have various different functionality that can appear in the left-hand navigation, home, reports, and digital asset management, which I'll give a quick intro to in a second. I also have here the ability for bulk orders. Now, Coreprint has a range of functionality, ranging from the ability to support bulk orders for stock items, fiscal spend for a customer to manage credits, and to show how much spend is available. Then moving to the center of the screen, I have this iconography where I have the ability to select quick functions, shortcuts to what I've recently ordered, favorites, or bulk orders. There's other options that can appear here, such as authorization of jobs, if I was authorizing a job. And this iconography is really designed that when the system is responsive, you can access elements of the system very quickly. I've minimized my screen so you can see what it would look like on a mobile device. So the system really is truly responsive. And then I move down to the categories, and on this particular example I have 6 categories listed there. If I just look at one of those categories now, I'm going to go into stock products, and I've got the option here for printed or non-printed stock. The categories, the iconography can be anything you want. You can amend that yourself. The words there you can amend, and the products you can manage in a number of different ways. I've just gone for non-printed and printed stock. I'm going to go into printed stock here, and I can see a range of products here. I'm going to go into my product here, NCR pads, and I'm going to place an order to drop that into my basket. What I can do here, I can see an image of the item. I've got an instruction, please add quantity and fill in mandatory fields. What we've got here is an example where you can specify a different delivery address per product. The delivery address can be all for one order at the end of the process, but sometimes when we do integration or we have a multi drop option for products, we can specify the fact that we can highlight the delivery address. What I'm also going to do is add some quantity. It's telling me it comes in a pack of 20. I have 50,000 currently in stock. That could be a virtualized figure within the system, or it could be being fed back from the MIS system at the printer or a warehouse system. I'm going to select a quantity. I'm going to order 25 of these items and add these NCR pads to my basket. And you can see now I have 6 items in my basket. And if I scroll down there, you can see I've got my NCR pads. The other items that are there from a previous demonstration, I'm just going to remove because I've got the functionality to do that. And the system will just check and ask me what I would like to take off. So I've amended that, and you can see the number of products now in my basket have reduced to 4. If I go back to the home page and I look at something a little bit more complicated, what I can do here is I can look at a business card, and within this demonstration site, what we've got a number of different types of business cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at this Robertson Thompson business card, and I'm going to create a new card. If it was a card that's already been created, I could just order it at any time. There's no reason to recreate it each time. But for this example, I'm going to show creating a card and ordering it, which in theory would be a long process. We've made it into quite a short and intuitive process. Here's my blank business card. Again, just giving you an overview of the navigation. It's a double-sided business card, so it's 1 of 1, 1 of 2. I can change the way the system looks and how we manage the item based upon the type of product that's being edited. I have the ability to show a PDF of the actual product that's on screen, and I have the ability to refresh. And then I've got some fields on the right hand side where I'm just going to populate, as I'm talking, my details in order to create a business card. I'm going to give myself a MCSE, and I'm going to make myself the trainee solicitor working out of Dubai. As I scroll down, the template of the actual business card remains on screen. Because I've selected Dubai, the telephone number for Dubai has come in with the correct international code, just to make sure there's no lack of understanding of how that's supposed to appear. And if I come down to email address and I just drop my name in there, like so, what happens is the email address, the domain is locked, but I can put my name in front of that. We can manage the pre-data, as with the telephone prefix there. We can manage the post data after the variable, or the actual content format of the data in there. So there's a lot of functionality we can actually lock down. And what you can see there is I've entered my email address. It's appeared on the actual business card, and it always preserves the integrity of that business card. So if I make an amendment here, and say if I change that to Calvin Smith, then you'll see it will amend the actual artwork, but the structure of the card will always remain the same. As I scroll down, I'm quite happy with that. You can see that the text is justified to the left. It's brought in some regulatory information, very important for a financial organisation, and I've got my fixed information on the side along with my logo. So I'm quite happy with that as a card, but I'm going to look at the reverse. This particular example has some unique functionality to Vpress. It takes the justification of the text from left to right to left. So now the text flow is moving the other way, and it's transliterated my name into Arabic and my qualifications. So the information has already been preloaded, but the user now has the ability to take some Arabic text and amend that, and that will be put onto the system and updated like so. So it's not just Arabic, it's pretty much any language that's been loaded onto the system, and we can relatively easily load new languages in there. The key thing here is that the system has a font integrity tool. So if a customer has a particular font and they need to see that item, or the language needs to support that font, then the system, that font can be loaded at system level, and users can access and do any actions they want with the template without having that font installed locally. So I mentioned just a little bit before that we have a PDF button. So if I click on that PDF button now, it's going to show me the front of the business card. It will only show me the reverse when I've actually saved it. And if I just zoom in a little bit, it's created a PDF on the fly. One of the first things you'll notice, there's no crop or bleed marks here for production. This is a customer PDF that is created with a watermark. So the moment it's got the watermark Coreprint, that actually is an editable field at system level. So it can say your company, or it can say proof, however you wish. And just to do the proof of the pudding, if I just zoom in, you can see that, you know, it is print quality there with the details that I've actually amended. So if I just close that, key thing to note there is that it Coreprint created the PDF very quickly. So the system is a true cloud-based system using very high-end servers on the behind the scenes, and what it's able to do, it's able to respond very quickly and still support low bandwidth as well. So what I was doing there is just creating a PDF for a business card on the fly. So I can't order that item now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that, and I'm going to give that business card a name. So I'm going to call it Kelvin Bell 123, because I do a lot of these demos. There's probably a lot of business cards with my name on the system. So I'm going to save that. Now what I can do is I could create another version of a business card and save that. So I can do multiple versions of one or multiple items in one go. So it's all designed to be quite intuitive, but also quite efficient for the end user creating an actual templated item. As I've saved it, what I've done is I can now order it. In ordering the item, the system is going to want to know a cost center for this particular product. It's also going to want to know the quantity that I want, because it affects the price. And of course, we've got delivery address turned on, so I'm going to add Vpress, and I'm going to order 500 of these items, and it gives me a breakdown price there. So I'm happy with that. I'll add that to basket, and again, just as before, you'll see that the number of items that I reduced to 4 have now increased back up to 5. And as I scroll down there, you can see there's my Kelvin Bell 123 business card with a total value of my basket order. I'm going to continue shopping, and I'm going to order a much more complex item now, but this still remains in the confines of a basic functionality of the actual system. So I'm going to go into marketing, and I'm going to look at a marketing piece that has lots of different functionality on it, but it's still quite typical for the corporate workplace. So come down here, what I've got is I've got a corporate invitation. Like before with the business card, I'm going to click create new, just so you can see how it's created and then ordered. If it was already created, I could just reorder it any time. And what I've got on screen is I've got an A5 double-sided corporate invite branded with Vpress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the theme of my item to blue, this example. And I'm going to select a corporate image. So I select image number 1. And just from those 2 drop downs, the theme of the whole document front and back is amended to the color of blue. It's been preloaded, and the image has been optimized. As you can see, it's got a particular curve there, has been selected. And I'm going to have a title. I'm going to drop in my guest name. Well, that'll be myself. So I'll put my name in there, and I'm going to have a new print open day I'm going to do this for 2018. So as I'm typing there, you see I've dropped my name in. I actually now have white text on blue if I'm using Ricoh or HP machines, which can support that, or it could be transparency where it could fulfill that white text at the top. Now I've got a title: New Print Open Day 2018 has been added under the fixed text. And as I scroll down here, the proof remains on screen. I can have some text there. So what I'm going to do is just amend that, and I'm going to please come to our event as you are needed. So I'm amending the text. What I could do is I could have just edited the text that was there. I've decided to put in some new text, and you can see it's coming in the correct font, correct position, and everything. Now what I've got is I've got a picture of a book. Not pertinent for what I'm trying to achieve here. So we have a link here to the dam. I did cover off the dam on the left hand side where there is a shortcut. But here, this dam relates to exactly where there's an image that could be used for this document. So I'm going to click on that link there, and a frame opens up. Now that doesn't have to be the dam that comes with Coreprint. It could be the client's digital asset management tool. What we've done is we've created a dam tool in order to support the use of the system, because digital asset management software is extremely expensive. We've tried to break that barrier down and just give people the functionality to manage imagery within a document. So as I scroll down here, I can see there's an image that I've used many times before. I've selected it, but the dam module of the system is telling me that I can't use that image. There's two reasons. One reason is the aspect ratio. It's portrait or landscape, so it wouldn't fit without being resized, which may look a bit off. Or it could be the DPI. Generally, 350 DPI is good enough for production. So the system's pre-flighted that image and is not happy with it. I could upload an image directly into the document and had the same level of functionality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop that image. And without any software needed, this remains throughout the Coreprint system. Without any software required by the end user, what I'm able to do is to edit any image coming into the software, coming into the actual product. So if I try and amend the aspect ratio here, it's telling me it's landscape. So it's locked. It's been on the setup. And what I'm doing is I'm just working out I can get this angry lady into the picture in the way that I actually want it. So let me just get it a little bit there, and I'm happy with that. So the system is going to save this as a new image. So the original image will still exist. This will be a new image on the system, and it's telling me now I can actually use that image. Here on the left hand side, I've got some attributes. So it's got the name, I've got the size, the MIME format. I can see it's JPEG, dimensions, and when it was created. And also what the requirements are and the aspect ratios for the position of where it's going. I could open the file, I could delete the file, but as I've edited it, I'm going to select the file and bring it into my document. So that was quite a complicated task that we've managed to devise a very simplistic way of managing within the system. So I've dropped in my image, so I'm quite happy with that. I'm now going to have a date. Again, as with the telephone numbers on business cards, getting the format there could be some disparity from different people doing different ways. What we can do, we can lock the format down based upon where you are. Obviously, if you're in the US, it's a different format. But here in the UK, I've just amended that. So it goes in the way that I want it to be. I can have my time as 9 AM. This could also be a drop down. And what I want to do is I want to offer a free breakfast, a free lunch, and a free dinner for the people that I'm inviting to the event that I'm having. So all that information is just coming by me ticking that box. So I've just created quite a complex print item that would normally take quite a while in InDesign to create, and I've just amended the variables from what the options are that Coreprint Web2Print gives you. The final thing here is the Vpress logo at the bottom. I'm not entirely happy with. So again, I'm just going to open up the digital asset management element of the system. Back into CoreDAM. And I can see there's a whole bunch of logos there. Let me just scroll through and work out an image that works well. Just looking for an image that works with the blue. We've got a whole range of different things here. And I can just pick an image that matches the actual blue that I've got there. What I've got there, let's just select that one, bring that image in, and you can see now my document. I'm quite happy. What I can do now is scroll to the second page. Like I said, this is a complex print item that we've managed to simplify within Coreprint Web2Print. I'm going to select an address. I'm going to pick the Hotel Novotel, and I'm going to put a URL in there, www.vpress.com/event123. So as I scroll down, what I've got is from the drop down I've selected, I've now got a title in my solid at the top, as with a name on the front. I've brought an optimized map based upon the hotel that I've selected. It's been pinpointed. This has been pre-set up, although we can link to something like live mapping. We've got an address here, linked to where the actual hotel is, and then all that information is embedded within a QR code. Generally, there's 68 permutations of a QR code. The system supports all different formats. If I change that address and I have it at the altitude 360 and I make my URL more complex and just update it, let's just put that through that way to bring the map through. Change the title, changes the map on screen, and amends the actual QR code. And you can see the branding has been brought through from the front page. Let's just go back to the front page, and in doing so, the page that we actually started with. If I wanted to, I could change the theme of the actual template to orange, and that will change the theme throughout the actual document. So however many pages are, it will change it from page to page. But what I'm going to do now is just save that, give it a title, make it something different from what I created the business card, obviously, and then order it. And again, as with the business card, now I've amended the variable items. What I can do is just specify where I want that delivered to and what my quantity is. I'm going to order 855 of these items, and the system will work out a price automatically. Now the price is being worked out based upon a matrix that's in the actual system on a unit price. We can put price lists in the system, and we do have some really interesting development going down the road of instant pricing, which we've been doing for quite some time. So I'll do that in another example. I'm going to add that to basket. And again, I had 5 items in my basket. By adding that item, I've now got 6. I'm going to proceed to checkout. In proceeding to checkout, any financial details pertaining to this order are going to be required. So these are configurable fields based on each customer. So I'm going to drop in a purchase order of PO1234, my telephone number of where I'm going to be. It's picked up my name based upon my user. And then what I can do is I can specify where my invoice address is going to be. And I can drop in some comments. Please contact. Drop some items in there. When I'm happy with that, I can check the order out. If there's a payment gateway for credit card transaction required, then this is where it would actually link. But there's not on this demonstration site, and you can see order number 205 with 6 items in there has now gone at a total cost of £1,239. So some items have been chargeable, some items haven't been chargeable. And like I mentioned before, we do have a module where we can manage the actual spend within the system. Just to close on that order 205, what I can do is I can go to reports. So whereas we used to have lots of different reports, we can now make reporting much more dynamic. So this order report here from and to, I'm going to run a report from the first of the month and update. So I can run a report from any time period, and you can see there's more items there than I've actually placed. I can filter by any keyword, so if I want to put a name in there or a product, or I can filter by any drop down. These are all editable. You can change these. I can update to what I can see on screen, and I can then export to Excel as required. So, reporting is key to have transparency on the actual order. The key thing that we do here is order number 205 of those 6 items has been broken down by line item and not just one item. So whereas most e-commerce systems, you would have a basket, there'd be your order with 6 items in there, and you'd get it on Tuesday. What I've done is I'm showing here that each item here now actually is broken down separately, and each order line within that order has its own order line ID. So within the world of print, and print production specifically, we may be ordering where 4 of those items are going to the print workshop, where it's digital or litho, or a combination of both. One of those items is going to a warehouse, and one of those items is going to a sub-supplier. That's the market we live in now. So what the system can do, the system can manage that. And on top of that, with this business card in particular, the business card is awaiting authorization. So the user, Kelvin Bell, will not get his business card until it's been authorized by, funny enough, myself, when that order has actually been placed. So we can actually manage multi-tiered authorization or approval before an order actually goes through. So from the point of ordering, my 6 items have gone. I'm quite happy, but lots of different things can happen on the back end of that, and the system can manage that to quite a high level. So all this information is here, and I can review. This information could also be updated by bidirectional integration into an MIS system. We support most of the MIS systems that are out there. And as I scroll back up to the top, I don't need to export that to Excel. I know where my job is. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to go back to home, to the home page. My order is gone. I've got 1 item waiting approval. I'm confident that my order is going to be fulfilled when it's needed. I know that my brand has been enforced. I know I haven't spent too much money because the system's told me, and the process is complete. This whole functionality here, which again is only basic functionality, can be included in proprietary applications I mentioned before, either an Office Products Catalog or a print management application or an ERP CRM application. But here we've just got a standalone application. So what I'm going to do now is just give you a quick insight to what it could look like if it was a little bit different. So this is a portal that we set up for Wimbledon Tennis Club. So I'm just going to put details in here. This little message is coming up here is a fault in Firefox, the browser I'm using, because it is HTTPS. So just go in. So exactly the same portal you saw just before. What I'm doing here, it's just got a different color scheme. Again, still not very adventurous. It was just something we set up very quickly. And I've got different iconography like so. So working in a number of different ways. And again, that's just purely by amending the theme option that I had on the actual Aspire site that I saw. Aspire is a name for this type of interface. We have different types of interface. So the system can look like a number of different ways, but Aspire is the HTML5 mobile responsive. So Coreprint Aspire is what we know it as. We do, as I mentioned before, have the API. But that really concludes this introduction to Coreprint Web2Print. Again, it is a basic level. There's many different directions that we can go. Should you need any more information, please contact me, kelvin.bell@vpress.com, or any member of the support team in Cheltenham, support@vpress.com, and any one of us would be more than happy to help. Thank you very much.